Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Japan. This is the Japanese B League. It's the playoffs, and it's quarterfinals, game two between Kawasaki Brave Thunders and Yokohama B Corsairs. Well, these are so far what's going down in the playoffs. You can already see that Chiba Jets in a little bit of trouble losing their opening game. And Kawasaki Brave Thunders also losing at home to this really good Yokohama B Corsairs team. Ryukyu Golden Kings have already punched their ticket to the semifinals. And of course, the Shimane Susumu Magic and Alvark Tokyo, they're both knotted at one apiece. So this is crunch time. This is money time. This is when you got to play your best basketball, and that is what we saw for long stretches of the game yesterday for Yokohama B Corsairs. They weren't perfect, but they were good enough to get a huge road win against a team that they had only beaten one in their four attempts during the regular season. But the good news for Kawasaki Brave Thunders, they're still at home and they have still got a lot to play for. Obviously, they win a couple of games, they will advance. So if they win today, they will play again tomorrow. Nick Fazekas obviously is going to get his points like he did yesterday. 30 points for him, but it was a balanced attack, really, from Yokohama B Corsairs. Charles Jackson leading the way with 21 points and 11 rebounds. But it was overall just a solid effort. And of course, that man right there has just been terrific all season. And without a doubt, one of the star players in this series and every series that he is going to play in. So for Yokohama B Corsairs, it is a very good team. One that I think kind of a lot of people didn't expect with the Kaho, Jackson, Devin Oliver, Kenta Mori, Sudo. And then you've got Alda, Kawamura rather, Morikawa, Oba, Kai King, Matsuzaki, and Edwin Morris. And that man right there, Kenji Sato, has got his work cut out to get a two-game lead. So his starting five today is going to be Akaho, Jackson, Oliver, Kenta Mori, Sudo. And Coach Aoki going to give his last-minute instructions to his Yokohama B Corsairs before they go up against Kenji Sato's Kawasaki Brave Thunders. And as the lights lower and everybody gets excited about this game too, so much. You've got two seasons. You've got the regular season. You got the postseason. The regular season, there was no doubt. This Brave Thunders team was the best team. They earned the home court advantage, and now they're going to hope that it plays to their advantage as they try to overcome that 91-86 defeat yesterday. And you can see where the 14 threes, two more threes were made, a couple more makes inside the arc for Yokohama B Corsairs. They won despite losing the rebounding battle, despite Brave Thunders having more success at the free throw line. Fazekas was terrific, though. The 30 points, the 18 rebounds. I don't think you can ask for too much more from him. And here is the roster that we look at Kawasaki. You see Fuji, number 7, Shinoyama. Of course, he's the great entertainer, makes some big plays. Masuda, number 11. Number 13 is Maita. Number 18, Kamata. And Fazekas, Hasegawa, Nomi, Matt Janning, Kumagai. There's Jordan Heath. So Jordan Heath sitting this one out. And here's a look at what the fans are looking at on the big screen. The Kawasaki Brave Thunders. Well, they had a good enough start, jumping out to that 8-point lead at the beginning, but this Yokohama B Corsairs team does not go quietly. So here we are looking at the starting five for Kawasaki: Fuji, Maita, Kamata, Fazekas, and Hasegawa. Fuji had a decent game, 15 points yesterday. 2 of 7 from deep, made 5 of his 6 free throws. And again, Fazekas was terrific overall with his 30 points. Nomi actually had a decent game with 12 points, 11 points for Maeda, but it wasn't enough. You had Jordan Heath, who played 35 minutes, so not available or not playing today. So there it is, the starting five again. Fuji, number 0, Maita, 13, Kamatai, 18, Fazekas, number 22, and Hasegawa. And there's a man, a coach that's been through the battles. He's not going to be hitting any panic buttons today, but clearly some pressure. The referees, Kato Hirahara and Kitazawa, walk up to the scores table just to make sure everything is okay. And we're about ready to rock and roll here in this terrific Kawasaki Todoroki Arena. And it's not just about... not just about the game, it's about the show in Japan. And obviously, again, as we get a look at the referees, Kato Hirahara and Kitazawa, it's all about the fans having a big time, this great production every single game. So again, the starting fives, the look at the guys that are going to be here: Fuji, Maita, Kamita, Fazekas, and Hasegawa for the Brave Thunders on the left. And for Yokohama, Akaho, Jackson, Oliver, Kintamori, and Koyasudo. And here's our head-to-head. We wanted to feature this one. Well, these two guys, boy, they had some big-time games yesterday. Look at that matchup. 51 points when you add them together. And perhaps you can live with that with Fazekas. Yes, he got his 30 points, but he shot 10 of 24 from the floor. Good spirit here before the game. Hugs, embraces, good sportsmanship. But once the game starts, it is going to be a battle. The gloves come off, and it'll be game 2 in this sensational Japanese B.LEAGUE season, which has been riveting drama from the start of the campaign all the way up to now, and it only gets more intense. Well, hello, everybody. We are underway here in the B.LEAGUE, and as Yokohama B Corsairs winning the opening tip, Devin Oliver is just about as explosive as they come. He passes the basketball, and the first miss by Kaho, but the offensive rebound keeps it at this end. They work it around the perimeter. Oliver spins in the paint, puts it up with that left hand, and gets it to drop, and this is a confident bunch. Devin Oliver, of course, we talk about Yuki Kawamura being such a sensational player, not just for this Yokohama team, but also for Japan's national team. We're going to see him this summer at the World Cup in Okinawa. But it is a good, balanced team. It's a team that is growing in confidence. So Fazekas with the hustle, but not able to save it in bounds, and goes back to play defense. Kawamura missing the last several games with an injury, but he's come back to play. He's coming off the bench again. Ooh, that's an over backcourt violation. Or is it? Have they called the foul? Yeah, they called the push on Kamata. Looked like he kind of nudged him right there at the end. He had him under pressure. Jordan Heath, frustrated, not playing today. And they get it down low, and another bucket for the Yokohama B Corsairs, and Oliver off to a flying start. And now the steal. Oliver taking over. Mid-court turnovers are toxic. He takes it all the way, and the confidence grows for the Corsairs. You simply cannot turn the basketball over at mid-court. It is going to lead to points. And Oliver just running riot. And now another turnover and another bucket. Alarm bells ringing. If they weren't already, they're definitely ringing as Mori drives in to score the 7th and 8th points. And you can see Coach Kenji Sato. Well, he might not be panicking, but he is certainly worried with this start. Maybe not so much his team, or excuse me, the other team, Yokohama, but the way his team has turned it over so cheaply. I mean, what in the world? What in the world was that? And then you have just a needless turnover by Fuji. That was the first of the turnovers before Maita turned it over. Looked like they'd never dribbled the basketball before, so they're going to kind of try to calm down. Meanwhile, Coach Aoki is going to try to take advantage. Now, Fazekas is over there talking to the referees. They're trying to get what they can, but listen, you have a start like this for Kawasaki Brave Thunders. You got to be worried about your game and not start lobbying for calls from the referees. That is not a good sign. So Jordan Heath getting hurt yesterday, injured in yesterday's game, not able to play today. That is obviously it's a huge loss. Huge loss for the Kawasaki Brave Thunders. And it is not pleasant viewing for him. And now some full court pressure as Yokohama B Corsairs really look to ratchet up the intensity. Fazekas. The double team comes from Jackson. He passes out to the wing. They work it. Back to Fazekas. He's in the lane. He loses it. And another chance, another turnover. Oh, was that a travel? Nope. They call the foul. So nice drive and putting the pressure on that D once again, attacking. And this is turning into from a bad dream to a nightmare for Kawasaki. And just sloppy ball handling as Akaho goes down. Doesn't get it to go with his left hand, but nevertheless draws the foul. Fuji hustles back. And what do you do if you're the coach here? I mean, it seems more like right now, more than anything, it's mental. And Kawamura hasn't even checked into the game. This Yokohama B Corsairs team having that dream start. And Oliver with the rebound. It's just too easy. Look at this. Another layup for Jackson. winner of this series is going to advance to the semifinals where they will face Ryukyu Golden Kings, who brushed aside Nagoya Diamond Dolphins in 2 games. And the other quarterfinals, as we mentioned, Chiba Jets going to try to get back on level terms today against the Hiroshima Dragonflies, and Alvar Tokyo are knotted at 1 apiece with the Shimane Susanoo Magic. So a lot of excitement. So the winner of those 2 series will square off as well in the semifinals. But the road to glory for this Kawasaki Brave Thunder team, it starts here. But they are having a hard time getting in a good performance at home, and they turn it over yet again. Another break. A great hustle back, but the foul called. So the foul was called on Maita, and Kawasaki Brave Thunders are just putting themselves into really serious danger here of just crashing out of the playoffs here in this first quarter, the way this thing has started. The game is already more than 3 minutes old as Fuji gets up after being knocked to the ground. And again, I can't emphasize enough, you're playing poorly. The game might be physical. He's talking right now to an experienced FIBA referee who's refereed at World Cups, has refereed Olympics, Asia Baskets, FIBA Asia Cup, excuse me. You need to worry about your performance, and somebody needs to show some leadership in this Kawasaki Brave Thunder team and really take over. They need something positive to happen. Fuji, meanwhile, is going to leave and be checked out briefly to make sure he's okay. So that's going to lead to the introduction of Nomi, who again had a decent game yesterday. But meanwhile, Akaho goes back to the free throw line and misses the first. Akaho already had made his first 2 free throws. And I just wonder if Kenji Sato needs to think about getting Matt Janning into the game. A good sharp shooter. Well, that was a break. And we'll see if that leads. Oh, boy, that is a 4-point swing. Great play. Fazekas passing it up ahead for the easy deuce. Good hustle when you're struggling. You want to get a good shot, and they finally get points. Now a turnover. Jackson, now Fazekas. Fouled by Oliver. And that's a dangerous play by Fazekas. I mean, you're a big fella. You're dribbling. You're bringing it up the court. Normally, you want to find your guard. Great play by Fazekas. I mean, I guess in fairness, he's multi-skilled Fazekas. And he won that battle, but here he is, turning in a bad situation to a good one. Fazekas starting to say, okay, fellas, we're looking for that leadership. Jump on my back, and I'm going to bring us back into the game. It's an 8-point deficit. So better signs, although they still look a little sloppy. Jackson, meanwhile, catches it down low, goes up and scores. Boy, Jackson is a load. You got to really keep him out of the lane, or he is going to have some success. Fazekas hands it off. Oh, and boy, that is a crazy drive. And Kento Mori unlucky to be whistled for the foul, because not only does he get the foul, he gets bowled over at the end of it. Boy, that is a break. I don't think there's any question about it. That was a stroke of good fortune for Hasegawa. That was a 50-50. I think that one could have gone either way. So Hasegawa goes to the line, and a little bit of life for Kawasaki. Now, remember, they fell into a 12-0 hole to start this game. Right now, it's 14-4. And he makes the first free throw. And let's see if he can get the second one to drop. Lots of hopeful Brave Thunder fans here. You can see this arena is a sea of garnet cheering on their team. He only makes one of two, so it's back to a 9-point deficit. What can they do with Oliver? He has been pulling the strings. He has been difficult to stop. He passes to a wide open teammate, and that is not going to get it done. The three from Mori. So it's 17-5. Oh boy. Good fortune, and they save it in bounds. And how about that? The three-pointer coming from the big fella, Kamata. Nice stroke from Kamata. Oliver for three. He is just feeling it. He thinks right now he can do no wrong, and he's right. He is absolutely off to a sensational start, Devin Oliver. 20-8. 9 points for Oliver, and a blocking foul. And words being exchanged as the game, the physicality goes up a notch. Bodies clanging into each other. Charles Jackson now saying, hey, listen, no. What's Charles Jackson in this one? Well, I mean, Kento Mori kind of slams into Fazekas. Fazekas is standing there, not wanting to give any room, so he just lets Mori drive into him, and then he falls over. But perhaps relatively easy for a big fella. Nevertheless, hope springs eternal, and right now, Kawasaki Brave Thunders appear to be getting back at least some improvement, and Kamata's going to sit down, and coming in is Kumagai. Also Shinuyama, who just thrilled us at the B.LEAGUE All-Star game this year, where he really stole the show, and the fans loved it. And how about this, Yuki Kawamura, the man that all of Japan wants to see, comes off the bench. Again, you can see his right leg is wrapped up. He's got to take it easy. It helps that his team already has a 12-point lead. Look at this, the ball pressure, almost another turnover. And the jump shot, no good. Shinuyama Jackson with the rebound. That was Nomi that almost lost it, and for whatever reason, I mean, even when it's not intense pressure, they're struggling. Kawamura says, I want to be a part of this show. He comes out immediately, instant offense, 23-8. My, oh my, how this man has changed his outlook on offense. He's not just a distributor, he is looking to score. Another pass knocked away by Kai King. Well, Kai King's played some good basketball of late as well. Look at Kawamura. He just doesn't hesitate. He's like, I've been sitting long enough. I want to get in. I want to get in on the act. He had 16 yesterday. Shinuyama whips it to the corner. And the wide open three is not knocked down by Kumagai. Fazekas goes for the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. And the Brave Thunders are going to retain possession here. Fazekas turns, tough shot, misses. Oliver hands it off to Kawamura. And Japan national team coach Tom Hovas hoping that Kawamura continues to recover from his injury through these playoffs. Here he is again, second three, and it is automatic. Goodness gracious me, 26-8. Yuki Kawamura has barely been on the court, and he's already drilled a couple of three-pointers. How do you stop this? I mean, you know, he can blow past you, get into the lane, score layups or pass the basketball, so you got to go out and guard him. And even when you go out and guard him, he still finds a little bit of space and knocks down the three-pointer. He is the sky is the limit for this man. I'm not sure there's a better player in Japan than Yuki Kawamura. If I'm being blatantly honest, I mean, this guy has just taken the game to a different level. So Kawasaki Brave Thunders looking to kind of cool off this Yokohama B Corsairs team. And right when it seemed like they started to get a foothold in the game, Kawamura comes off the bench and drills a couple of threes. So that is a worrying sign. Shinoyama comes right out, takes the shot with confidence, misses. Here's Kawamura again. You got to guard him. Kumagai on him. Kawamura takes the bump. And again, that just illustrates the problem. If you kind of open up the space, open up the floor for him to penetrate, to drive, and you go out, and then his defender goes out and gets on top of him, he's just going to go right around him or go past him. It is a huge problem for Kawasaki Brave Thunders. I'm sure they'll be happy when he goes back to the bench. There's a drive. Oh, boy, that was a silky, smooth play from the Corsairs' Morikawa. So Fuji, having been checked out, comes back and re-enters the game, but his team is down by 20 points. Kawasaki Brave Thunders, their backs against the wall, already trailing 1-0 in this series, and a good start to the comeback. The best thing you can say right now about Kawasaki is A, they're playing at home, and B, the game still has a long way to go, 32 and a half minutes. But finally, Kawasaki get Kawamura to miss, but they don't get the rebound. And now Oliver shaking and baking. Look at him go. And now the foul has been called. Pretty good defense. Looked like pretty good defense to me from Nomi. And that's exactly what he's saying to the referee. He's like, I got all ball, ref. I got all ball. Why are you making that call? Especially because we're down 18. We need to get the basketball back. Kaho comes back into the game. Patrick Gauda, boy, into the game and immediately causing problems. He goes to the line, makes the first free throw. Czech international. Watched him play so many years for the Czech national team and made it to the World Cup in 2019. This guy can do it all, and he is at the line and makes the second as well because Fazekas went up through the net and knocked it out. 20-point deficit. I mean, this is just you could not have written a worse script to the start of the game for Kawasaki Brave Thunders. You can't give up 25 points in a quarter, never mind 30, and we still got 2 minutes to go, and now a moving screen has been called, and it goes from bad to worse for Kawasaki Brave Thunders. And the story of the season, in my opinion, is this Yokohama B Corsairs team going from a losing record last season to not only a winning record, but a spot in the playoffs. And here they are, looking very good bets to advance to the semifinals. Alda drives and earns another trip to the line. The foul has been called on Fazekas. So that foul was not on Fazekas. That foul was on Maita. And meanwhile, Hasegawa is going to come back into the game. So no Jordan Heath, but you do have the potential, the possibilities of Matt Janning to come into the game. We haven't seen him yet. And meanwhile, Patrick Alda goes to the line and makes another two. Fuji. Oh, shaking and baking that time. Looked like he was going to make the pass, and instead he took it all the way. Kai King lets it fly from deep. And look at Patrick Alda beat that Kawasaki Brave Thunders team to the long rebound. That is just unacceptable. They just want it more right now. So the turnovers have been a real issue. And the rebounding in that instance. And they've also called a foul in the play. So Patrick Alda goes back to the line. And, you know, sometimes it's all about effort and it's about desire. And since we've seen Patrick Alda come into the game, that is his middle name. It is the stat of desire, his rebounding ability, his tenaciousness, his unswerving determination to get that basketball and to put it up and in. And he gets both to go, and the lead now balloons to 22 points here in the first quarter. Still a minute to go in this opening frame. Fazekas puts it up from deep. Long rebound, chased down by Fuji. He passes it outside. They whip it around. Fuji for three. And Fuji feeling the sense of desperation that really needs to spread to his teammates if they're going to have a chance here. Kenji Sato needs to identify the players that are going to lay it all out on the line. Good D there from Nomi. Here's Alda. Kai King wide open for three. Misses. Another long rebound. Corralled by Patrick Alda. You're going to leave him open. He's going to take it, and perhaps not the best decision by Alda. So living dangerously again. Kawasaki Brave Thunders this time do get the basketball back with a chance to cut into the deficit. Fuji again, another three attempt. Oh, no surprise. Patrick Alda with the rebound. And that's it at the end. Oh, it almost goes in for Kawamura. So 1 quarter in the books, and Kawasaki Brave Thunders, who lost yesterday 91-86 to fall into a 1-0 hole, trail Yokohama B Corsairs. And they trail them by a big number. So 34-15, Yokohama B Corsairs leading Kawasaki Brave Thunders in game 2 of their quarterfinals. And you look at the scoring, Oliver with 9 points leading the way. Patrick Gowda and Kawamura each with 6 points. 5 points for Kentamori, 4 for Charles Jackson. Fuji hitting that three-pointer. He's got 5 points. They're going to need a lot more of that if they're going to have a chance of overhauling this 19-point deficit. But it is clearly a Kawasaki team that seems to me to be clutching at straws the way they're talking to the refs. And, okay, that's fine. The refs are going to listen to you if you speak to them civilly. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about effort more than anything, and the effort hasn't been there for Kawasaki from the beginning of the game. Now we see it from Fuji, and you're hoping, if you're Kenji Sato, that effort, that intensity is going to spread. Here he is again. Passes it out, and another turnover. It's going to be a backcourt violation. Three-point shot is good. Another one. Mori turns on the style, and the lead goes back to 22 points. Fazekas open for three, and he drills it. Well, you just got to roll the dice now. I mean, you can't be afraid. You got to take those threes as you try to come back. But, gosh, you got to get some stops. Here's Alda. Taking it deep, passing it back outside. And this time the air ball from deep, but look at that. Alda almost getting to the basketball, but instead he bowls over the cameraman. And then he has a wry smile. He has a wry smile for Nomi, who was looking at the referee, appealing for a foul there. Almost a chuckle. A chuckle from Patrick Alda. Well, you're going to be chuckling if you're up by 20 points, that's for sure. There's no chuckling from the team in Garnet Red. They are in trouble. Here's Fuji trying to lead the comeback. I mean, the great thing about it here is they whistle as they call Oba for the foul. No, excuse me. They called it on Kentamori. The great thing about it is if somehow they can manufacture a come-from-behind win, they will be at home for Game 3. But they got to win the basketball game. And the other great thing is that in 2023, in the sport of basketball, we have something called the shot clock and the three-pointer, and that can ensure you that the opponent can't just sit on the ball. They got to play, and you can always shoot yourself back into the game. But you got to do it defensively, and they're not doing it right now. It's the team with all the confidence stroking it, and Morikawa, the latest to hit a shot. He's got 4 points. Fazekas for three. Buries the three. Back to a 17-point deficit. They can't trade buckets, though. They got to get some stops to go on a run. I'm thinking right now, trailing by 17 points, you want to get it down to 10 points at halftime if you can. Here's Patrick Alda driving in. Oh, boy, I'm not sure there's a better player on the court right now than Patrick Alda since coming into the game. He's got 8 points. That's his first shot from the floor. His previous 6 points coming at the free throw line. Fuji. Oh, boy. Cruel. Fazekas, though, gets it back. And he looks at the referee. He wants to foul. Great effort. Let's have a look at this. Let's see if he gets fouled on the putback attempt by Alda. Oh, Fazekas might have gotten away with a push himself before. He's saying Patrick Alda went straight up. I don't know, man. I thought maybe in live action there was a foul, but looking at the replay, I'm not sure. Nobody owes you anything. The referees don't owe you anything. You got to earn it. So now they're going to have a head coach's challenge to see who's going to get possession. It could end up being Yokohama basketball. Let's see if they can win it. I think that's Yokohama basketball. That was unlucky. I mean, Alda, yeah, it's going to be Yokohama basketball. Alda definitely, obviously, lowered his arms, but I'd like to see if he actually fouled him when he went up, because the way Fazekas was appealing to the referee, he was saying he was fouled. Well, Coach Aoki, let's put it this way. If Yokohama B Corsairs don't win this game today with this huge lead, 41-22, remember they've been in front by as many as 22 points. You don't like their chances. They need to put this thing away, and they want to put it away in the first half. At bare minimum, they want to go to halftime leading by no less than 15 points, I would imagine. And right now, they've got a chance to go up by 21, 22 points. Step back, Morikawa. His attempt goes off the rim and over the backboard. I mean, there's no doubt that losing Heath is a big loss for this team. Here is Fazekas. Just needs the and one. Doesn't get it, so he's going to get 2 free throws. And there you see the frustration from Fazekas, because even though they called the foul, he applauds the referee for making the call because he feels like he hasn't been getting any calls. Well, maybe he can channel that anger into positive fashion and help him and his team really get it going. But the sloppy start by Kawasaki, the turnovers, the fast breaks, allowing Devin Oliver to dominate in the early going in every way imaginable. And then the spark provided by Yuki Kawamura off the bench, those 2 threes late. I mean, it's just they've dug a hole for themselves. And there's a layup. Charles Jackson. Kai King fouls Fuji. I've got no problems with the way Fuji's playing. He's playing hard, trying to get his team back into this. The problem is Fuji had a couple of turnovers early on that were not good ones. Fazekas has a couple of the turnovers. Kumagai has a turnover. Hasegawa has a turnover. They'll cut down on him here, but again, the problem is they're down 19 points. So they need buckets and they need stops. Wide open Shinoyama passes up to 3. Well, they end up getting an open look anyway, and it was the right decision as Hasegawa knocks it down. And now they trail by 16 points. A little bit of hope, but you have to get a stop. Can you get a stop here? Kai King goes up, a little runner. And Jackson falls out of bounds. It's going to be Brave Thunder's basketball. Fuji bounce pass to Fazekas. He goes in. Old school layup. Left-handed. He is so skilled offensively. He can go with either hand. He's got that great jump shot that we've seen. And Fazekas closes the gap to 14 points. Wide open three. Good. And that's just anybody is going to knock that down if he's that wide open. So Oba gets his first three-pointer of the game. Fazekas. Little floater. I mean, fortunately for Kawasaki, they've got a guy, Fazekas, that can really pour in the points. And he's getting his touches now, which is good. He's got 12 points. Back to a 15-point deficit. You can't, oh boy, just another runner and another offensive rebound. Unbelievable. What is going on? Oliver, Kawamura, that is lethal, but he misses. They rode their luck there. Trailing by 15. Fazekas, feet set, and knocks it down. Wow. Nick Fazekas is starting to put on a show, folks. Number 22. Well, that was the deficit at one point that this Kawasaki Brave Thunders team was facing, and right now, the man with the number 22 on his shirt has said, giddy up, get on my back, let's go. We are coming back. Timeout, 46-34. I mean, it is ridiculous how well he shoots it from deep. He is just, he just creates problems for the opposing bigs because they don't want to go out and guard him out there. So, Fazekas with 14 points already. Fuji has 6. And Hasegawa has 6 points. Kamatai has the 3. Kumagai has a couple of points. And for Yokohama B Corsairs, a little more balance with Oliver leading the way, his 9 points, and then 8 apiece for Patrick Auda, who was sensational coming off the bench. And also Kenta Mori, he has 8. And then, of course, Yuki Kawamura had those 2 threes right at the end of the first quarter. He is resting now. But, you know, it feels like almost a miracle that they have been able to close the gap this far here late in the first half, and they simply must not trail by any more points. They simply must not trail by any more at halftime. So they've cut it to 12. Can they get even closer? Jackson. Kawamura. Oh, boy, Kawamura. Third three-pointer of the game. Now he and Oliver have 9 points to lead the way for Yokohama. Shinoyama, the lefty, whips it over to the wing. Oh, Fuji gets the basketball back, and now Jackson's complaining about something, but they just turned it over. Fuji from the right, and Oliver swoops in for the rebound. 4 minutes to go in the first half, and as bad as it has been for the Kawasaki Brave Thunders, they did close the gap to 12. Now it's going back to 15. They need a stop. You can't let this man get open looks, that's for sure. And he gets one. Wide open. Bam! You pay the price. I mean, you got to find somebody that can stay on your feet and not allow Kawamura to have an open jumper. He's got 4 3-pointers. He's going to be such a pivotal player for this team in this playoffs, even if he's playing on one leg. And ditto for Japan at the FIBA Basketball World Cup, which tips off on August 25th. Fazekas. That was a tough make for Nick Fazekas. Of course, Japan playing Australia, playing Germany, and playing Lauri Markkanen and Finland. But Japan are going to be awesome. It's going to be a great World Cup. There is Charles Jackson earning another trip to the free throw line. Shinuyama reaches in and with the help defense tries to block his path to the basket, commits the foul. So Maita back in the game for the Brave Thunders. And Charles Jackson takes the lead back up to 17 points. When you fall behind the way this Kawasaki Brave Thunders team fell behind in this first half, even when you go on a run, even when you think that you're making progress, you're still down by double digits. And now another turnover. Shinuyama. And Oliver gets it to Jackson, and one coming. And just like in the first quarter, just absolutely brutal situation as they turn it over and it leads to points. So that is now 13 points they've scored off turnovers. You feel bad for Fuji. He's trying to make things happen. He goes over and sits down. But if he makes this free throw, Jackson, it'll be 14 points off turnovers. Boy, he bricked that. He absolutely brought out the bricks. The bricks and mortar. 3-point shot. And missing it was Maita. Well, it's been a playoff start to the playoffs that is full of surprises. Yuki Kawamura uncharacteristically almost turning it over with Shinuyama on him, but the Salt Chiba Jets lose their first game yesterday. They fell to the Dragonflies, the Hiroshima Dragonflies. And there is the long shot, no good. The rebound. Albark Tokyo and Susanoo Magic. Shimane Susanoo Magic. That is a blocking foul. Albark and Shimane both knotted at 1 in their series. Ryukyu Golden Kings made quick work of the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins winning first 2 games there. Well, taking one for the team. Taking one for the team, Sudo. You don't want to be taking the contact from Fazekas like that and going down. And I think he should say thank you to Fazekas because Fazekas tried to hold up, but it's still a load. And Fazekas goes to the free throw line. There he is. Jolly St. Nick. Not so jolly right now with his team trailing by 17 points. Makes both. So that's a little progress. Gets it back to 16. And again, I'd like to reiterate what I said a few minutes ago. If they can get it down to a 10-point deficit by halftime, Kawasaki Brave Thunders, that would give them a little bit of an extra bounce in their step as they head to the locker room. But Kawamura puts up another 3, and fortunately for Kawasaki, they get the rebound, come back. Fazekas turns it over, and I just think he just kind of fumbled it. I don't think he was trying to pass it, just lost control of the basketball. Well, the turnovers have been a huge problem. Here's the pass to Oliver, high off the glass, and then nobody boxes out. Charles Jackson just standing there watching. You have to find somebody to put your body on, and Charles Jackson, with the offensive rebound and putback, takes it up to an 18-point lead. Maita misses. Kawamura dribbling with the basketball here, taking time off the clock. Now to 8 on the shot clock here in the final minute of the first half. Kawamura into the corner, three-pointer, and boy, that was in and out. Well, they're not going to get it down to 10 points by halftime. Oh, beautiful bounce pass, nice finish. Masuda gets his first couple of points. Now they put on some pressure to try to get a turnover to go the other way. Kawamura, look out. Get the ball out of his hands. Here's Oliver. He gets it to the corner, the three-point shot, and it goes behind the backboard. So you'll take a 16-point lead to halftime, and you'll be happy about that if you're a Yokohama B Corsairs fan. Kawasaki Brave Thunders, their backs are against the wall. Look at the fans. They're cheering them on as they go. They're like, don't give up. We're still here for you. But they've got some work to do. At halftime, 57-41, Yokohama B Corsairs on top of Kawasaki Brave Thunders. We'll be right back. Well, 57-41, the Yokohama B Corsairs on top of Kawasaki Brave Thunders, and it was that incredible start to the game where they scored 12 consecutive points, many of them aided by turnovers. And look, that one there just unacceptable as Hasegawa turns it over, just kind of loses his handle. We saw Fuji turn it over at midcourt. Devin Oliver, of course, thrives in the open court game. Here we are looking at him whip the pass down low to Charles Jackson. And everything was working for the team in white. Now, Fazekas finally able to whip the basketball up the floor to get the layup. And the first 2 points for Kawasaki Brave Thunders. And it looked like they might get things going. They had that fortunate hustle play there and the save and the basket by the three-pointer by Kamata. But they couldn't stop Yokohama. Coming off the bench, Kawamura didn't just hit 1 3, he hit 2 threes. Fazekas, he missed that one and a rare offensive rebound. They end up getting a 3 on this one from Fuji. And that's what extra effort does. And the Fazekas offense able to give his team some hope, but you're not going to come back if you can't stop the opposition. And Yuki Kawamura, who has been terrific all season long, and despite having the injury issues of late, has come off the bench and has been utterly sensational once again, scoring all 12 of his points from long range. And there he is with that sweet pass. And Charles Jackson just active once again. He had a great game yesterday in the 91-86 win. He comes out today. He's got 11 points at the break. And it is all Yokohama B Corsairs right now. And you look at the numbers, 3 more makes inside the arc. Then from deep, they've got a couple more threes. They're 9 of 13 at the line, so they've made more trips. They're winning the rebounding battle. Of course, both teams actually with 6 offensive rebounds. I thought it was a more decisive edge for Yokohama in that regard. And then you look at the contributions from the bench. The points in the paint, 18 for Kawasaki and 20 for Yokohama B Corsairs. The bench points, 27 for Yokohama. And the head-to-head matchup, Fazekas and Jackson, well, I suppose in one sense, Fazekas, I think he could play even better. I mean, it just goes to show how good he is, despite having some troubles turning the basketball over. He does have 22 points. 8 of 12 from the floor, but he can't do it all on his own. He has 7 rebounds. He has turned it over 3 times. Fuji has brought the effort. He's got 6 points, 2 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 3 from deep. But again, in that all-important category of turnovers, 8 turnovers for Kawasaki Brave Thunders, and just 1 turnover on the game so far for Yokohama B Corsairs, and just an illustration of where this game is being won and lost, especially when you consider what's happened after those turnovers. Points from turnovers, 15 for this Yokohama B Corsairs team, so they have capitalized on those mistakes. And again, with Kawamura and Patrick Auda coming off the bench, Auda has just been sensational. He's got 8 points. Kawamura coming off the bench has 12 points. Morikawa has 4 points coming off the bench. Oba hit the 3-pointer. So that's where all of that is coming from. They've led by as many as 22 points, and they've still got a big lead. Again, that 12-0 run to start the game, their biggest run of the game. And even though the lead went up to 22, Kawasaki were able to trim the deficit back to 12 points. That led to a timeout. That led to a timeout from Coach Aoki, and then coming right out of the timeout, Kawamura struck again with a three-pointer, and that's been the story of the game. They've been able to get baskets and buckets, whatever you want to call it, when they've needed it, and from not just Kawamura, but a multitude of players. So second half action is underway. Yokohama with possession and looking to stretch their advantage, which is already a healthy 16 points. Oliver, bounce pass. Kentamori lets it fly, and that is not a good sign for the home team. Shinoyama back to Fazekas. Oliver comes out on him. Shinoyama drives in, gets the layup. Oh, misses the layup, but there is Fazekas for the putback, and Shinoyama has simply got to make that. He is lucky that his teammate was there for the putback. And now Kawasaki being warned about playing defense over the baseline when they inbound the basketball. So he's got to see that again. We'll see a technical foul called. Oliver goes behind his back. Whistle blows, and the foul has been called on Kamata. 3-point shot from Oliver. It's an air ball. No need to apologize, Devin. You're not going to make them all. So here's perhaps an opening. They could just get a run, trailing by 17 points. String together 2 or 3 possessions. And Shinoyama called for the offensive foul, kind of leaned into the defender. Kentamori drawing the charge. Look at this. Watch his left arm. Oh boy, that's weak. I don't like that call at all. That is weak. David Oliver. And now Hasegawa a little bit frustrated because thinking, well, you called it the other end a different way. Now you got to call it that way. Three-point shot. And boy, it goes again. Bad to worse. The lead goes back to 20. Knocking it down from downtown, number 30 for the Yokohama B Corsairs. Sudo, his first bucket of the game. Koya Sudo. And 4 assists. Didn't score yesterday. I think Fazekas called for the whistle for the foul, and Japan International. Don't think he's going to play anymore, but you never know. Here's the drive and the foul. So Kaho going to the free throw line. He's been active. He's had a nice game, Kaho. in his 10 minutes. Only scored 2 points, but has been playing hard. Kumagai re-enters the game, comes in for Kamata. 20 points, the advantage. Did anybody see this type of dominance coming in game 2 after yesterday when it was a tight affair that finished 91-86? And I think it just goes to show that you get a win, you get some confidence, you feel good about yourselves. But the reality is Kawasaki Brave Thunders are at home. Now, we have to underline the importance of not having Jordan Heath. He is a huge absence, and that really does hurt their chances today. Kumagai gets to the free throw line, so 2 free throws for him. His team down by 22 points. Good bounce pass by Fuji. And when it rains, it pours. Kumagai misses the free throw. Kumagai just had 2 points yesterday, and he misses both. Well, that is brutal. Kawasaki now 5 of 9 at the free throw line. Devin Oliver whips it out to his teammate, and the three-pointer drops for Kenta Mori. And look at Yokohama B Corsairs. Easy, Yuki. You don't want to tumble over. 25-point advantage, the biggest of the game for Yokohama B Corsairs. So adding 9 points to the lead here in less than 3 minutes of the third quarter, and trying to slam the door shut on Kawasaki Brave Thunder's season. Fuji out to Fazekas. Fazekas missing. Charles Jackson rebounds, hands it off to Kenta Mori. Charles Jackson tries to go to work on Fazekas. Kenta Mori, leave me open, and you do not pay the price. Fuji, long 2 if it drops. Yuma Fuji has got 8 points. Here's Oliver. Jackson goes right at Fazekas. 70-45, Yokohama B Corsairs with a vice-like grip on proceedings here today. Charles Jackson walks over to the bench, shaking his head, saying, wow, they can't stop me. Look at this. Not even Fazekas. Little fade off 1 foot, and loving life with Yokohama. Charles Jackson, 13 points. Or is it 11? I thought he had 13, but okay, so it's 11. Kenta Mori, 14 points. 12 points for Kawamura. 9 for Devin Oliver. And they are just doing pretty much anything and everything they want on offense right now, Yokohama. Well, you put in the hours, you put in the long, hard practice time. You play a whole season, preseason, regular season. You go through all the niggles, the injuries. Sometimes you don't feel great when you get out of bed, but you do it because you got to do it. It's your job. You got to get out and play hard. And you work so hard that you finish first in your division, and then you go into the playoffs and you're in danger of losing both games to bow out. Not how the Brave Thunders thought this was going to go. Shinoyama, well, gets it back to a 22-point deficit. It's got to happen on this end. The reach, Kaho gets it back. Now he's trapped, gets it to Oliver. This is where he's good. Passes wide open shot. And fortunately for them, Sudo misses the three. Fuji. Fazekas dumps it down low to Kumagai, and Kumagai didn't catch it cleanly and then tried to put it up and score. Needs to come down with the basketball. They really do miss Jordan Heath. Fazekas knocks it out of Charles Jackson's hands. Shinoyama up ahead, and the layup. Oh my goodness. Kumagai misses the layup. And I don't know if that's because of fatigue, tiredness. That's almost inexplicable. Oliver, the jumper, he misses. Fuji, you got to take matters into your own hands. You're either putting it up or you're giving it to Fazekas. He feels the bump. They're going to count it. Boy, that was a terrific take from Fuji. I've got no issues at all with his effort today. He really has played hard. He had a poor start to the game. I mean, what a finish. What a finish that was. And you know it. They counted it. He's got 10 points. And Fuji getting the and one. Oh, no, they are not going to count it. Apologies. I thought they had counted it. I thought he got a little continuation. He didn't, so tough break. And Shinoyama almost knocks it away, gets it back, so they get no points. Oh, boy, that is brutal. And Yokohama B. Corsairs go right to the other end. Devin Oliver scores. He points to his teammate. Thanks for the pass, pal. And just, again, if yesterday was a bad dream for Kawasaki Brave Thunders, today has turned into a nightmare. No Jordan Heath. Woeful start to the game. 12 points scored right out of the gate by the opponent. And it's been an uphill climb ever since. Well, it's now or never time for Kawasaki Brave Thunders. You're trailing by 24 points. You need some You need some buckets. You need, oh, nice bounce pass to Fazekas. And the foul called on Charles Jackson. And if you're Charles Jackson, you just can't worry about that one. You're leading big. You just got to keep playing. Yeah, there was contact. You can see that. Fazekas at the line. And again, when it rains, it pours. So Kai King brings it up. Can these Brave Thunders trouble this backcourt, maybe get themselves back into it, forcing some turnovers? Offensive foul, well, that'll help. Patrick Alda battling away. Look at Alda. No, Charles Jackson, excuse me, with the moving screen. Fazekas, long two. Out of rebounds, the miss. Well, you know, those fans that have made the trip from Yokohama are happy. Kai King misses, but it's almost as good of a pass because, again, the Brave Thunders have not done a good job on the defensive boards today. Giving away a lot of second and third chances. Both short and long rebounds. Here's the dump. Shinuyama. And missing that stroke from deep was Nomi. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it does, as Yuki Kawamura gets off the bench to check into the game. For Brave Thunders, that is not what you want to see, because he's going to come in and do his thing, and that is score, create havoc on defense. Here he is. Kai King steps back. It's a two. If it drops, it doesn't. And that is just Nomi not picking up the basketball. But again, Kawamura turns it over, and it's going to lead to a wide open dunk for Fazekas. And Patrick Alda struggling to stay on his feet there. And the foul has been for the travel. So Jackson goes over to the bench. I mean, it's not an impossible situation, but I wish I had the win probability here for Kawasaki. It can't be very high. The prospects of a comeback from such a large deficit. Down 23 points, but you never know. You go on a run. Well, that's a start. Driving in and scoring was Maita, his first bucket of the game. Oh, look at Oliver. His ball handling has been exquisite today. Then he drives in, he misses, gets the rebound. And call goes against Kawasaki once again. So Maita, a little frustrated. Third foul on him. Oliver at the line, trying to get into double digits, and he does. Oh, he was already there. Sorry, he had 11. There's Jordan Heath thinking about what might have been. But injuries are part and parcel of the game. You got to have the next man up. And when you lose a player of his ilk, of everything that he could do, from his scoring both inside and out, his rebounding, his defense, it's just a horrible, horrible blow. So Oliver gets another attempt because they were in the lane too early, and this time he cashes in and takes the lead back up to 23 points for Yokohama B Corsairs, who have a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series, and they are closing in on the series victory and a semifinal with the Ryukyu Golden Kings, who won their best-of-3 quarterfinal against the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins. So they have made hard work at the free throw line today, and it just continues to be an almighty struggle in every department for the Kawasaki Brave Thunders. Now it's pass to Auda, layup, and the route is on, folks. 25 points the advantage with just under 11 minutes remaining in the game. Pass out to the corner. Maita hands it back off. And missing it was Nomi, and Auda with another rebound. Three-pointer, not there. Quickly up the floor. Nomi down low. So putting up and in Masuda for his third and fourth points of the game. And right at the end, are they going to count it? Well, if they do, it is par for the course. I think they might look at it to see if he got it off before the buzzer. Even so, the fact that it went in for Morikawa just tells you all you need to know about this Yokohama B Corsairs team. They are on fire right now. Referees are going to look at that and see if he did indeed get it off in time. Yes, he did. Wow. He got it off in time. And it was a 2, not a 3. Well, there you look at it, folks. The quarter-by-quarter scoring, and you just can't lose. You can't be outscored 34-15 in the first quarter and put yourself behind the 8 ball and think that you're going to come out and get the win. Now, well, perhaps this banner says more than anything right now, be brave. In other words, we're getting blown out, but in this fourth quarter, we can still do it if we're brave enough and perhaps get a little bit of thunder from somebody. Somebody other than Fazekas. Somebody has to step up and really spark this team if they're going to have what would be an incredible comeback against the Yokohama B Corsairs. Well, Chiba Jets will play Game 3 tomorrow. They've evened their series with the Hiroshima Dragonflies. No contest in that one, 98-69. Can Kawasaki Brave Thunders get off the canvas here in the fourth quarter? Well, if you're a player, you owe it to yourselves, you owe it to your fans, you owe it to your coach to give everything with the aim of having the most incredible comeback of the season. You have to do it without Jordan Heath, but you can't talk about the players that you don't have. You got to talk about the players that you do have, and you got to go for it. Fourth quarter action underway. The Todoroki Arena. Fazekas. Nobody there for the rebounds in the Garnet Red. Ooh, shaky pass. High arcing shot. So Morikawa called for the foul. That's his second, and Hasegawa takes a trip to the free throw line. Kamata comes in for Fazekas. Hasegawa misses the first. They're now 6 of 14 at the free throw line today. And looks like Fazekas struggling with some calf issues, I think. Kantamori drives in, gets the dump to Alda, who waits and puts it up and in. And really the victory procession is on, folks. It's 82-56. It is blowout city. The Kawasaki Todoroki Arena did not expect this today. Suda gets 2 of them back. 24 points, excuse me. 24 points separate these two teams. Now turnover. 3-point shot from Nomi. 82-61. Well, no timeout by Aoki. He says, keep playing. Here's the drive in Morikawa. Wow, he's played well today. And the three-point shot is good. So Fuji with the three cuts it back to a 20-point deficit. 7:40 remaining. Morikawa gets open, and he is fouled by Nomi.
Yokohama, number 9, Kawasaki.
Oh, how they'd like to have Jordan Heath. That's not going to be there. He is unable through injury. .727 remaining. Kenta Mori whistled for the foul. Charles Jackson comes into the game. Three-pointer from Nomi rattles out. And Jackson rebounds and miss. Bounce pass to Jackson. He goes up, and another two for Jackson, who's been all action today. Fuji hustles, knocks it away from Jackson. Jackson with another great game today. 17 points. He had 21 points, 11 rebounds yesterday. Kenji Sato with the injuries, and the only area where I would fault his team today is that they just didn't come out hungry today. You can't come out in a game two trailing after losing game one. Even if you have a main player like Jordan Heath injured, you can't come out passive. You've got to be aggressive. You got to come out hungry. And you know, if your opponent scores 34 points in the first quarter, that is not a good indication that you're ready to go. You can't feel sorry for yourselves. You got to come out and you got to play hard. And I just don't think they played hard early on, and also didn't. You can't turn the basketball over. Morikawa with that jump shot continues to pour in the points. And Yokohama B. Corsairs just cruising towards the semifinal showdown with the impressive Ryukyu Golden Kings. Charles Jackson and Morikawa talking things over, making sure they're on the same page. Masaki Morikawa had 9 points yesterday, and he has been excellent today. He's got 12. A real weapon coming off the bench. 3-point attempt. Rebound by Kamata. Now, a little bit too much dribbling there from Fuji.
ポゼッションアローは横浜となっています。
So Fuji, his team trailing by 26 points, gets tied up, and for the jump ball possession arrow, and the looks on the faces of the fans, you can see they're going to give all they can here down the stretch, but I think reality is sinking in that their team has just kind of almost fallen apart here at the worst time of the season after a terrific season for the Kawasaki Brave Thunders. It was always going to be problematic against the Yokohama B Corsairs. If they had been able to get that game one victory, they hadn't lost Jordan Heath. Fuji nails the three-pointers back to 23 points. He's Shinoyama shouting from the bench, encouragement. So Kamata called for the foul on Jackson. Oh boy, pass intercepted. And good read by Hasegawa. And cuts it back to 21 points. Now the deficit. Turnovers can lead to points. And they escape trouble that time. They get it across midcourt. And no rush for Akaho. He wisely pulls it out. Fuji goes down looking for a call. None is made. 9 on the shot clock. Kenta Mori out to the wide open teammate, missing the three. Jackson gets the rebound though over Kamata. His length, those long arms. And if you're Kamata, it's not just about having position. You got to put your body on him and push him away. And then if you don't get the rebound, you let somebody else come in and get the rebound. So timeout on the floor, 92-69. Yokohama B Corsairs on top of the Kawasaki Brave Thunders in Game 2. Remember, it was Kawasaki that led yesterday, but faded in the fourth quarter, and Yokohama won it 91-86. This was Fuji's three-pointer, one of his three three-pointers, in fact. He's got 14 points. And that was the steal in the bucket from Hasegawa. He's got 9 points. Well, that helps. Maita strokes it to get it back to a 20-point deficit, 4:45 remaining. They got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at this Yokohama Beach Corsairs team if they're going to make it interesting over the final 4.5 minutes. And Nomi commits the foul. Kenta Mori. Fazekas back in the game. Right calf problem clearly bothering him, limiting his mobility. Long three-pointer, no good, and Fuji gets the rebound. Fuji drives, pump fake. His pass intended for Fazekas, I think. And Maita with the foul. Kaho can't get it to drop. He'll take another one. And this one does drop for number 6. And Devin Oliver comes back in just to finish things off here for Yokohama B Corsairs. Nomi outside to Fuji. Three-pointer over Kai King. Not there. Charles Jackson rebounds it. 3:40 remaining. Well, the disastrous, that's the only way you can put it, 34 points allowed in that first quarter by Kawasaki. Allowed their opponents to get out on top, and it's been kind of like the point of no return. They were able to cut it back to a 12-point deficit after falling far behind. Yokohama racing down the floor. They're going to hit the 100 mark. You know, they got 95 points already. And defensively, they just were not where they needed to be, I think, from a mental frame of mind for whatever reason early on, and it is going to lead to an early into their season and a 2-0 sweep at home. There's Fazekas getting it down low and missing, and again, clearly he's struggling physically out there, and perhaps caution would be the best, being cautious and getting him out of the game so it doesn't do any more. He might come out. Morikawa goes out, gets the high fives, the low fives, and yes, indeed, Fazekas does go out. I think it's pretty obvious that this result is assured. And Fazekas, disappointment. He didn't want his season to end in the quarterfinals. But that's how it's going to be. Matt Janning looking on. Disappointment for all involved over there on that bench. And there's no way to sugarcoat it. They have been second best in this series, even with the injuries. You have to be able to cope with the adversity. You have to be able to bounce back, and they just have not been able to today. So Fuji dribbling around. Gets it over to Kamata. And going the other way as they play out the final couple of minutes of this game, trying to give their fans at least a little bit of joy, perhaps with a late run. Kai King, he misses. His jumper hasn't been falling today. Final minute, 15 seconds, playing game 2 here between Yokohama B Corsairs at the Kawasaki Brave Thunders. Who knows? Maybe they will not get to the century mark. They've got 97 points. Kentamori whips it down low to Alda. He's got another bucket. So with 59.3 seconds remaining, they've got 99 points, Yokohama B Corsairs. They're going to play it to the death. Here goes Fuji. Drives in, lays it up and in. Fuji's got 16 points. Kentamori hustles down the floor. And, well, it looks like they will get to the 100 mark as Fuji commits the foul. Doesn't put him on the line yet, in fact. I think that's the third or the fourth team foul in this fourth quarter. So it has indeed put him on the line. So Kentamori gets his team to the 100 mark, the 100 plateau. Yuki Kawamura, who, even though he hasn't played much today, as he continues his recovery from injury, still made an impact. Came off the bench, hit a couple of threes in the first half late that really kind of almost slammed the door shut, really. And came out and hit a couple of threes in the second half. So Fuji goes back to the line with a chance to extend his total to 18 points. He's got 16. And also improved his team's poor free throw shooting today. Shinuyama looking on disappointed. And now 8 of 16 at the free throw line. Nine of 17, so at least they're over 50% from the stripe. So I guess they're trying to delay the inevitable, which is going to be a resounding defeat here in the second game, and they're going to put more points on the board for Yokohama with that foul. Well, Kentamori has been really good today. This captain, 17 points, now 18. Yuki Kawamura applauding. Fuji rains another three-pointer. And back to a 22-point deficit. So Fuji comes out of the game with 17 seconds left after that final three-pointer that was made by him. Disappointment sinks in. He's got 21 points. Oh, but misses the first free throw. Rattles in the second. They go to 104 points. Noma almost carried it. And Patrick Allen not having any of it. He knew what was coming. There's Shinuyama for three. And he gets the three right at the end. Gives the fans one last thrill. You can hear that some of them got some joy out of that, so that's good because nothing else really would have made them too happy today. Falling hard, crashing to defeat in Game 2 as Yokohama B Corsairs, the amazing season continues. They win it 104-84 at the Kawasaki Brave Thunders to complete the two-game sweep of their quarterfinals. Next up, Ryukyu Golden Kings. Well, there's the quarter-by-quarter scoring, 34-15. That 34 points in that first quarter was just too much for them to give up. You see Fuji showing his sportsmanship, going up and congratulating Yokohama, who thrilled their fans today with another big performance. They won yesterday 91-86. And today they have rolled to a 104-84 victory. Shinuyama bows to the crowd to say thank you for supporting us this season. And Fazekas kind of limps over to the sideline, clearly wants to get off his feet. And it looks like a wrist, I think it's a calf injury, Jordan Heath. Sadly, not able to go today, and nobody feels worse about that than he does.
放送席インタビューです。まず勝ちました横浜 B コルセアーズ青木ヘッドコーチです。初のクライマックスシリーズで2勝でセミファイナル進出を決めました。おめでとうございます。今どんな
Yokohama.
お気分ですか？
本当にこの1回戦が神奈川ダービーで、B コルのブースターの応援を背にこの神奈川で戦えたことは本当に自分たちにとって心強かったですし、また川崎のブースターの皆さんが作るこの雰囲気、そして横浜のブースターの皆さんの作る雰囲気、最高の会場で、皆さんともに2つ勝てたことは本当に素晴らしい環境で試合させてもらったなというふうに思っています。
昨日は試合の立ち上がりで相手にリードを許しましたが、今日は見事にやり返しました。選手たちにどんな声をかけて試合に臨んだんでしょうか？
はい、昨日しっかりと経験したことを、今日どうやって、2日目表現するかということはすごく大事なことだと思ったので、それを最初から選手たちがチーム一丸となって表現してくれたことはすごい、もうこの1日でもしっかりとチームとして成長できた、そんなところだというふうに思います。
試合を通してディフェンスの強度を維持し続けた選手たちの戦いぶり、ベンチからどのようにご覧になっていたんですか？
本当にシーズンを通して成長を続けてきたこの選手たちがこの最高の舞台でまたさらに、自分たちの素晴らしいバスケットボールを表現してくれたなというふうに思っています。
このチャンピオンシップ3連戦も視野に入る中で今回は2戦で終えました。この結果はどんなチーム効果をもたらしそうですか？
まずしっかりとまたすぐ次の試合に準備が始まりますので、そこに対してこの時間があるということは、両方のチームがそういう状況だと思うんですけれども、またよりいいコンディションで、挑めることは素晴らしいことじゃないかというふうに思っています。
琉球とのセミファイナルに向けてどんな準備をしていきますか？
まずは天皇杯の、準決勝で沖縄アリーナで琉球に負けて、そこから選手たちが CS でもう一度戦おうという気持ちでここまで戦ってきました。それを実現した選手たち、このクラブ素晴らしいと思いますし、あとはもう琉球沖縄アリーナに行って自分たちが培ってきたものを出せる、そんな準備をしていきたいなというふうに思います。
ありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
放送席続いて藤井キャプテンです。まずは勝利おめでとうございます。森井キャプテンです。まずは勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
中地区同士のチームの対戦、そして神奈川対決も制してのセミファイナル出場を決めました。まずどんなお気持ちですか？
はい、本当に横浜は、CS 自体初めての出場で、なかなか厳しい、状況があったんですけど、全員が、ファイトしてしっかり、次のステージに進めることができたんで、すごい良かったなと思います。
川村選手のプレー時間に制限がかかる中で2試合続けてのスタメンでした。どんなことを意識して試合に臨んだんでしょうか？
はい、僕が、できることっていうのは激しいディフェンスで、チームの、意識を高めることなんで、そういった部分は出だしから出せたんじゃないかなと思います。
ご自身のシュートタッチも好調な中でポイントガードとしてはどんなことを意識されていたんですか？
はい、本当に自分のところは、空いている場面が多いんで、しっかり打ち切ることができたんで、それが良かったかなと思います。
最後第4クォーターラスト1分ほどでコートに戻りました。あの時はどんなことを考えていたんですか？
本当に、みんながつないだこの40分間最後しっかり締めるっていうキャプテンとして、しっかり、ゲームを締めるってことを考えて、コートに入りました。
今日もアウェーですがたくさんのファンが集まってくださりました。この環境というのはどうでしたか？
本当に、アウェーじゃないようなそんな、素晴らしいお客さん、ビーコルブースターの方がたくさんいたんで、本当に僕たちの力になって、勝つことができたと思います。
最後にセミファイナルに向けて意気込みをお願いします。
はい、本当に中地区の、代表だと思うんで、川崎さんの分まで、しっかり戦っていきたいなと思います。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
So again, as I wait for some words from him, again, the head coach, Aoki, was talking about how the game was in Kanagawa and they were happy to play against Kawasaki and get the 2 wins. Really hailed his team's a terrific defense and just really called it overall a great win for Yokohama, and that next they're going to be focusing obviously on Ryukyu and getting ready for them, trying to have a good preparation. But anytime you can come up with a 2-game sweep of a team the quality of Kawasaki and do so on the road, you have to like your chances of having some success. So Yokohama B Corsairs, here you see Coach Aoki, that fan holding up the banner for him in his honor, and exciting times indeed for the fans from Yokohama B Corsairs as they enjoy their trip here to Kanagawa, and now they will again have a nice fun trip home. Look at that, it's all fist bumps, high fives, applause.
放送席続いて川村選手へのインタビューです。
So Kento Mori, as we look at Kawamura, Yokohama is the first to go to the playoffs. Tried to struggle to make it a better game for the next game. Happy to get the wins. They had to struggle again, but they were able to get the win. Now here's Kawamura.
コートの選手たちを出迎えに行かれました。どんな声をかけていたんですか。
とにかく僕ができることって今コート内ではなかなか少ないんですけど、コート外であったりそういったところでどれだけ自分がチームを鼓舞できるかっていうのは本当にずっとこの試合思ってたので、戦術的なこともそうですし、とにかくリラックスしないように40分間しっかり戦い切ろうっていうことをずっとみんなに声かけてました。
今日は昨日よりもベンチで試合を見る時間も長かったように思います。この2日間で何か川村選手、新たにベンチから見えてきたものはありますか。
本当にチームメイトがすごく頼もしいなっていう風に感じましたし、僕自身コートの中でできることは少ないですけど、コート外で本当にたくさんやれることはいっぱいあるなっていう風に感じた2試合だったかなと思います。
今後セミファイナル、そしてその先に向けてどんな準備をしていきますか。
本当に川崎さんの思いの分まで絶対に僕たちは優勝しないといけないっていう使命があると思いますし、それに向けてまずは琉球さんに、天皇杯で負けてしまっているので、そういった借りも含めて絶対に勝ってファイナルに駒を進めれるように頑張りたいなと思います。
ありがとうございました。インタビューは以上です。
So again, just going back over what Kento Mori said, just making it clear again that first time that Yokohama has made it to the playoffs and they're making the most of it. And that they were able to get that win. They knew they would have a hard game today. They had the struggle, but they had another struggle again, and they got the win. And I'll tell you what Kawamura had to say as well. Kawamura said, so happy to win these games. And we want to go to Ryukyu with the thoughts of the positive thoughts they had today. And even though he didn't play as much as he would have probably wanted or expected to today, remember, he's still coming back from the injury. He still wanted to encourage his other players, his teammates, to play hard. Here's Coach Kenji Sato.
いい試合をありがとうございました。今日の試合でクォーターファイナル敗退ということになりました。本当に悔しい気持ちでいっぱいです。今シーズンなかなかメンバーが揃わない中、苦しい時期も乗り越えてここまで、やってきましたけど、今日の試合も最後の最後まで走り続けて諦めずにやり続けた選手に、あとそれを支えたチームスタッフにもう一度大きな拍手をお願いします。ありがとうございます。 それから、うまくいかない時もいつも轟アリーナで、あとは配信で我々をサポートしてくれたファミリーの皆さん、もう本当に感謝してます。皆さんあっての本当に選手の頑張りだったと思います。本当に本当にありがとうございました。
So Coach Kenji Sato saying thanks or praises Yokohama. Thanks for the great game and the great series. And he says this is the last game for today for the season. Thanks to all the players and the team and the staff for all the hard work.
歩みを止めることはないので、来シーズン以降もサポートよろしくお願いします。今シーズン本当にありがとうございました。今シーズン
And here's Shinoyama.
ありがとうございました。苦しいことの方が多かったシーズンだったと思います。最後もそのシーズンを象徴するように、アクシデントがあって人数が揃わない中で最終的に今日は9人で臨むことになりましたけど、本当に皆さんの拍手であったり声援であったり、今シーズンからやっと 100% 収容できるようになって声も解禁されて、轟での皆さんの後押しがあったからこそ前を向いて40分間戦い続けられたと思います。本当に自分たちの足を動かしてくれたり、どんな時でも前を向いて戦おうという気持ちにさせてくれるのはいつもファミリーの皆さんのおかげです。本当に今シーズンたくさんの応援、サポートありがとうございました。
And Shinoyama said this season it was a very hard season, and the last game was also a hard game, just with only 9 players because of their injuries. But they want to say thanks for all the support. And again, they just wanted to say that last thank you to everybody for being there for them this season, and that that support means everything to the players. And obviously, not everybody can win. Sometimes you peak at the right time. Sometimes injuries come at the worst time. And sometimes you just get beat by a better team. And I think at this time of the season, Yokohama B. Corsair is playing very well. They've been one of the stories of the season. I'm not sure who saw it coming. Obviously, the team building was good. The coaching was great. The increased production from Yuki Kawamura was terrific, but also the leadership on the court from the likes of Kenta Mori was fantastic. So Charles Jackson played very well in this series. And even though they were in hostile territory, they were able to come out and get the win. So let's look back in some of the highlights. And again, as we do look at it, Devin Oliver really got it going early. He finished with 13 points, but he also had 11 rebounds. He had 6 assists. He also had a steal. So Devin Oliver really was initially you could see him involved in everything, and it just made life very difficult for Kawasaki. And of course, he got Charles Jackson involved. And Jackson ended up scoring 21 points, had 8 rebounds, and a couple of steals. So, his numbers coming in, he had 21 and 11 in game 1 and had another great game today. So, try as they might, Kawasaki, with the injury issues and whatever, they fell behind. Gave up 34 points in the first quarter. And even though Yuki Kawamura came in with his team already to the big lead, he just added to the misery for the home team, knocking down a couple of early 3-pointers right after coming into the contest. Kawasaki, they battled. Even after falling behind by 22 points, they were able to come back and close the gap to just 12 points. That led to a timeout. But this guy right here just doesn't let up. He came out and hit a 3, and they just had it going. And Fuji trying to stay on his feet, and it's just awfully difficult against Kawamura. He can beat you off the dribble. He can step back and hit the 3. He can do it all. Here he is dishing it. And even though Oliver didn't make the shot, Jackson was there for the putback. Kenta Mori was terrific today. He had 18 points, 8 assists. They could even probably say he was the player of the game. He was 4-5 from three-point range, Kenta Mori, and 5 of 7 overall from the floor. Had those 8 assists, the 3 rebounds, the 3 steals, so he did it all today. Shinuyama came out, as he always does, and gave his team a lift. Scored 6 points, all 6 coming from three-point range. Kai King with Sky High that time. That was almost as good as a pass. Fazekas goes down for the easy one, and Hobbled still playing for the team because they're shorthanded. That was right at the end of the third quarter, and he did indeed get that shot off just in time. Try again as they might with Masuda scoring down low. They just couldn't stop at this end Yokohama. And that was Morikawa on the drive. He had a great game, 12 points. Fuji, in the end, finished with the 21 points, 4 of 8 from three-point range. He had the 9 assists, but he did turn over 5 times. And it was just a slow start from everybody in that Kawasaki Brave Thunders team early on that they could not overcome. They were their own worst enemy. And didn't say too much about Patrick Alda, but he was great as well. Just a powerhouse coming off the bench, and finished with 14 points, 6 rebounds, couple of blocks. I mean, he was, and I say this as a compliment, a monster. So Kenta Mori and his Yokohama B Corsairs team hearing the applause and being congratulated by Kawasaki Brave Thunders. As you look at the numbers overall, it's not pleasant viewing for Kawasaki. Clearly, the free throw shooting was poor when you need it to be. They ended up being out rebounded substantially, 38-29. Yokohama had the 23 points off the turnovers. They had 44 points from the bench, had 40 points in the paint. Fazekas 27-10 for Brave Thunders, and Fuji 9 assists to lead the way. And Charles Jackson with the team high 21 points for Yokohama, 13 rebounds for Devin Oliver, and 7 assists for Kenta Mori was a team high. So here we are, folks. You can see the playoff situation, and sure enough, there they are advancing on the right side of that screen with the 2-0 sweep, upper right over Kawasaki Brave Thunder, so they will advance to take on the Ryukyu Golden Kings in the semifinals, and that'll be some kind of showdown between those two teams. Ryukyu Golden Kings beating the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins in 2 games, and of course, Shimane Susanoo Magic and Alvark Tokyo knotted at 1 game apiece, and Chiba Jets trading blows with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins in the other quarterfinal, and Nagoya winning the first game of that one. So they had a 1-0 lead coming into today's game, and I believe Chiba have already won that, so I think that series is now tied. So final score one last time, 104-84. The Yokohama B Corsairs win it over the Kawasaki Brave Thunders. They advance to the semifinals of the B-League playoffs. Thanks for watching, everybody.